Hello everyone, welcome back to the kitchen table. Today on the kitchen table, something a little different than usual, in that I'm going to be discussing something that hopefully you can help me with, that might help all of us. On that intriguing note, it's the kitchen table, and as is tradition, we need a beverage to help us ponder such weighty matters. And going a bit old school today, we have a very nice McGuigan Black Label Reserve Cabernet 2012 from Australia. And you can't really go wrong with that, can you? So, cheers. Excellent. Yes, so, what is today all about? Well, one of the questions I've been asked a lot over the last few months is from people who, they want to fly safely, they want to fly legally, they want to be responsible drone pilots. And they ask me, where do I fly? Because I think they're after ideas of places that they can go. And it's very difficult for me to answer unless you actually are in this very narrow geographical area that I live, because that's kind of my flying sites. But I understand that people don't want to sort of, basically find a nice, suitable, wide open farmer's field and feel that that's the only place they can fly that's, responsible. So I can't really help people on that score. They've got to go out and look for themselves and, track through the CAA information and make sure there's no restricted areas and so on and so forth. But I was approached the other day by someone who's involved in a project called App Movement. And this is actually a little spin-off from academic research that's being done at Newcastle University about how people kind of interact with technology and bits about how crowds use technology and so on. And basically what App Movement is it's a website, a little bit like kind of a sort of Kickstarter thing. If you have an idea for an app, you can garner support for it. If there's enough support for it, these guys will build the app and it will be put on the app stores available for free. And if it ticks over the milestone of getting enough people sort of wanting to be interested in it, then we can collaboratively design it. So there'll be elements of it that we can vote on, the look and the feel and so on and so forth. So this little thing pinged in my head and thought, well, we could put two and two together here. So what I've done is I've created a movement for an app that it works around the world, and it's basically crowdsourcing great, sensible, safe and legal places to fly your drone. Now that could be for flight practice because you're a beginner, so you want somewhere nice and open that isn't going to annoy anyone, that doesn't have any trees, too close. Or it could be some really amazing scenery that's easily accessible, that has public land that you can take off from, and so on and so forth. And the idea is that this app would be kind of using the usual kind of mapping bases, would enable people to to put in sites that they feel fit the bill. It would be moderated in the cloud a little bit. There'll be a group moderation affair to make sure that people aren't suggesting that you take off on the apron of LAX, for example, or Heathrow's approach paths. But then hopefully over time we build up a worldwide sort of database that people can easily flip if they're into an area they're not familiar with. They could flip open the app and say, there's a couple of spots over here, one of which means I can take some shots of this lovely castle over there, or this one gives me some great views of the hills and so on and so forth. So that's the idea. So I'll put the link on the screen down here to my App Movement. It's only a day or two old. I've kind of been tweaking it and just doing some bits and pieces to the description. But please have a look at it. If it's something that you feel you would like to get involved in sort of collaboratively designing, then just sign up. And it literally is just tick a box saying, yeah, I want to support this. There's no finance involved here. There's no backing. And when the app, if we get enough people behind it and the app gets developed and tested and works well, it'll be a no-cost app as well. In exchange, well, what's in it for App Movement? Well, in exchange, they get lots of data, anonymized data, about how we are interacting with this app and how eventually we get to use it. So I think that's a fairly nice swap. So that's it, really. It's as simple as that. I'd just like you to go and have a look at that link. I'll put it in the description as well. Have a click. Have a read of it. If it's something you think that might be interesting, then support it. If you think it might be interesting but you think it should be tweaked a bit, support it and tell me how you want it tweaking. The app will be kind of developed automagically by their systems. So we're within a kind of a framework. We can't get too wild because that would involve development time and money, which I think has stymied sort of apps in the past. So I thought this might be a really nice way of those of us who want to be responsible pilots putting something into the community for all of us, but also maybe the wider than that, showing people that we're not all the gung-ho idiots who put their stuff up on YouTube flying over airports and buzzing strangers really close in sort of built up areas and stuff like that. You never know. So have a look, go and see if you want to support it. Brilliant. If not, no problems at all. It was just a little interesting experiment to see where we could get with it. That was it. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And I'll see you over at App Movement. And if not, I'll see you here again soon, back on the kitchen table. Till then, cheers.